first two records that I was given as a present for Christmas or something was the Kraftwerk record, but then also Trio. I don't know if you remember that band. They did the song Da Da Da, like a sort of German new wave song in the 80s. Da Da Da. But you know, like, of course, Kraftwerk having the robot song probably played into that you like, there's like robots, like Do you mean that stuff that maybe even inspired us? It was definitely Akira, you know, the Japanese manga stuff. Stop! Yeah, of course Blade Runner was important, but at the time it was already not so cool anymore to like this. Because for a lot of people, music is entertainment. You know, it's like something on the radio, they hear it, they consume it almost in a passive way. You know, it's like they watch movies. A lot of people don't even expect any more from movies than sitting with their girlfriend maybe in a cinema eating popcorn and having some little bit of entertainment. You know, so when something different happens, it has a big impact, it seems. It certainly did for me with certain stuff. Kubrick's 2001, right? Space Odyssey. So imagine that with the wrong soundtrack. It would have been not film history, it would have been B-movie garbage maybe. At some point, you know, that was in 92, early 92, we saw a lot of racism and a lot of problems in society, and we were like, okay, we need to create a music that is speaking out about this stuff and is fighting racism, for example. Some people say, it's naive, but we were so strongly believing in like merging this message with this electronic music that we were absolutely convinced that people will listen to it and they will think about these things and then maybe either change their mind or we be enforced to take action. Tokyo, I think it's a lot of stuff is happening there right now, and it's a lot of energy in this place. It's just very inspiring, I think. The way people dress, you know, it's mind blowing. When I said to friends and family and people like we're gonna play in Mexico City, first things that people say is, oh my god, there are all these drug lords, it's not safe, you will be shot in the streets. I mean, it's almost like, I'm like, really? Like, is it... But it's probably the same when you ask her, what do you know about Berlin or something? I remember liking stuff like, you know, Alien. Alien was the first film I saw on a VHS tape. I was way too young, and the older brother of a friend of mine had this, and he was like, this still, I think, had an impact on me. When I saw Alien, I was like, it scared me, like, and the music, the lights, everything about it. Sometimes when I watch it now, I'm like, this is so... I'm happy that I was watching it at that age. With Star Wars, I remember coming out of the cinema, I wasn't that excited, not as excited as with Alien. things for independent films in Germany, and there were situations where it was very funny, because I tend to, when I approach a film, I'm like so inside the story. Some directors told me, Alec, I don't understand, like, you understand more this character in this scene than the actor or me who wrote the you know, one soundtrack that for me was very important was Logan's Run, for example.
Metro Goldwyn Mayer presents the Saul David production of Logan's Run.
And the way the soundtrack slowly moves from very purely electronic to orchestral, like more organic type sounding. I think that's a very interesting idea that I have still, when I make music, I find myself like coming back to that. German film stuff, you know, Fassbinder, like all the, you know, Werner Herzog, that came like way later. Metropolis. Politically, I kind of disagree with this film, but of course you kind of appreciate it for what it is and the influence it had on other things. And I think at a certain age you realize that you can watch a movie in with all these different things going on in your mind. You know, like you analyze it in a different way. You just don't sit there and like, oh, there's a monster, I'm scared. You know, you. Came from a scene, the techno underground scene, which was very almost like about no faces, no visual images of the artist. We thought that the music should only matter, you know, no rock stars, you know, this kind of thing. But then we found when we wanted to speak about these political topics, it kind of doesn't kind of work, because you could just pretend you're saying anything, you know, like you have to kind of stand behind what you're saying as a person.